Hi everyone, welcome back. I'm Sneha. I'm a freelance makeup artist based in London, and today I'm going to be reviewing some products from the recent Lisa Eldridge Spring Summer 2021 collection. I purchased two of the liquid highlighters called as the Elevated Glow highlighters. They look like this. And also two of their cream blushes called Enlivening blushes. This is what they look like. So the shades I picked up are Solar Light and Crystal Nebula in the liquid highlighters, and Dante's Dream and Island Glow from the cream blushes. Now I've had them for about a month or so and I've used them quite often, so I have a fair idea of how I feel about these products. So if that's something that interests you, please continue watching. First, let's talk about the Elevated Glow highlighters. This is what Crystal Nebula looks like against my skin tone. And this is what Solar Light looks like against my skin tone. As you can see, Crystal Nebula is quite a bit more neutral, almost cool tone for my skin tone, and definitely lighter, whereas this one sits very nicely against my skin tone. Now in here you get 13 ml of product, and the expiration date for this is 12 months or 1 year, and each of these retails for £27 here in the UK. Now I already have arm swatch videos and also application on my Instagram. So if you haven't checked those videos, I'll link my Instagram right here. You can check those out. But I will be doing a demo later in this video where I'll show you both the shades on my skin tone. Now I'm just going to read off the claims of this product from her website. Now these highlighters are designed to add an amplified luminous glow to the high points of the face, which I completely agree. It's beautiful, the finish of this, while simultaneously delivering some serious skin benefits and a subtle lifting, tightening, and smoothing effect. Now, I don't apply this on bare skin. That's just how I am. I've not tried it under foundation. I just prefer to apply liquid highlighters on top. Today, I don't have any, but that's how I've used it. So I'm not sure about the tightening effects. I haven't tried it on bare skin, as I've mentioned before. So it's an ingenious glow skincare hybrid with subtle skin tightening and smoothing effects. Contains a lot of smooth, multicolored, shimmering pearls, which I absolutely agree. So if you see my macro videos of this on my Instagram, you'll see how many beautiful shimmers are in this product. So those pearls are contained in a sheer, lightly tinted and skin adaptive base. And I do think these are skin adaptive, as you will see that even on my skin tone, although Crystal Nebula is recommended for light to fair skin tones, I believe, it looks fine even on my medium to tan skin tone. Now the level of shimmer on the skin depends on how much you apply, so start with a small dot and build to the desired level of glow that you prefer. I definitely agree with this. I do find this product to be quite buildable. So generally I just take a small dot and apply it all over, but say you want to amp up the look, you can definitely go over it with a second layer, or you can apply the lighter shade on top to amplify the glow. Now this product is cruelty-free, vegan, and it's also free from parabens, talc, fragrance, gluten, nylon 12, D6 and D5. Now the lighter shade, Crystal Nebula right here, is a light golden champagne, and it beautifully complements light skin tone. That's what's coming off of our website. And the second one that I have, which is called Solar Light, is a medium golden apricot that beautifully complements tanned, olive and medium skin tones. So let's get into the demo of these products. So on my right hand side, I think I will apply Solar Light, and then on my left, going to apply Crystal Nebula. Now for hygiene reasons, I'm going to apply both the shades on my palette. Although Solar Light is for my personal use, Crystal Nebula is definitely going to be in my freelance kit. Now this is what the products look like. I know it's way too much for a face highlight, but I just wanted to show you the colors up close. So the one at the bottom right here is Crystal Nebula. The one at the top is Solar Light. And against my skin tone, this is what the colors look like. So starting with Solar Light, taken a very small amount, as you can tell. Going to take whatever's left over also onto the top of my eyebrows. But as you can see, this literally melts into the skin in no time and provides such a beautiful glow. So that is one layer. Looks like wet skin, literally. But when I look straight up, that's the sign of a good highlighter shade for you. You shouldn't be able to tell any highlight, but once you move your face, that's when the light should catch the highlight, if that makes sense. Yeah, so there you go. It's absolutely stunning. This is my favorite highlighter amongst the two, if you haven't guessed already. On my right cheek, I'm going to apply Crystal Nebula. That is what that shade looks like. And then on my skin, And then whatever's remaining, I'm going to also apply it right here above my brow bone. Just blending the edges away. Literally takes seconds. So easy to blend. So that's Crystal Nebula. And this is Solar Light. Let me know in the comment section below which of these you prefer on my skin tone. I love them both, but I just feel like Solar Light is a little bit more natural on my skin tone, whereas this is more of a beaming, strong highlight. Still very fine in terms of shimmer particles. It doesn't look ashy or anything on my skin, but I just prefer the tones in Solar Light, if that makes sense. I'm also going to mix the two and apply it down the bridge of my nose and also on my Cupid's bow. So just mixing it on the palette itself. And by the way, my face was already powdered in case you were wondering. So this is going and blending over powder seamlessly, beautifully. And some on the Cupid's bow. Should have done this before lipstick, but hey. So if I come close, just to show you the elevated glow, this is Solar Light. And then this is Crystal Nebula. If you prefer a stronger highlight, I would recommend Crystal Nebula, or if you're slightly lighter skin tone than mine, but otherwise Solar Light is beautiful. Now in terms of packaging, it does come in a glass container like this with Lisa Eldridge logo on the top, name of the product. At the back you get the expiration date, how long the product is good for, name of the product, etc. You get a beautiful golden cap on top. Once you open that, it's a huge doe foot applicator, if you can tell that on camera as well. And you do get a ton of product in here. So I wouldn't even recommend applying all the product that's on the applicator. It's a lot of product. Unless you're applying it like a glow under your foundation all over, I wouldn't recommend using so much of product. Now again, ease of use is very easy, especially if it's your personal use. Just literally dab a dot with your applicator and blend it in with your finger. That's my preferred method of application, but you can easily use a brush for the application as well. In terms of blendability, you could see how easy the product was to apply. Literally took seconds to blend into the skin, even though I've used a very fair or light shade of highlighter on this side compared to Solar Light on this side. So blendability is excellent. And I have worn this all day and it stays put beautifully throughout the day. Even with the mask, even if the mask cuts through here, it still stays put as long as you have a good setting spray on top. Next, let's talk about the cream blushes, the Enlivening blushes. It's a unique and innovative makeup skincare hybrid formula suffused with blurring and lifting skincare ingredients. So that sounds fantastic. It's a non-greasy and non-comedogenic product. It's a super light cream blush and is incredibly easy to apply and blend, which I 100% agree with. I initially was skeptical just because the texture of this is quite a bit thicker compared to the other liquid blushes that I'm used to, which are slightly more runny. So it was a little bit of a learning curve, but the product is beautiful and looks amazing on the skin. You only need the tiniest amount to start building the desired intensity, and that's 100% true. The first time I took out quite a bit of product, and that was a mistake. You literally need a very small amount, and I'll show you when I get to the demo portion of the video. And it feels comfortable on the skin, and it imparts dewy hydration, which is good. It's a translucent, natural skin-like finish that is neither too dewy or too matte. I do agree with that. It's a very skin-like finish on the skin. It's a hybrid formula with blurring and lifting skincare ingredients and packed with actives including rosemary, leaf extract, bilberry, and raspberry seed oils, in case you're interested. Again, the product is cruelty-free, vegan, and free from parabens, talc, nylon 12, D65, gluten, and alcohol, which is good. The two shades I picked up are Dante Stream and Island Glow, just like this, and I'll just read off the description of these shades. Now, Dante Stream is a beautiful tawny rosewood shade that imparts skin with a subtle brownie pink blush, which is probably my everyday go-to blush kind of a shade. I love brownie pinks. They're so easy and effortless on the skin, if that makes sense, and I'm not a heavy blush person, so these kind of shades are amazing. It looks great on light to medium skin tones. And Lisa Eldridge has named the shade after the painting by Rossetti that she saw in a gallery as a teenager, and the painting and especially the colors made a big impression on her at the time. So this is what Dante's Dream looks like. Next we have Island Glow, which is probably my personal favorite, even though I love those brownie pinks. This just does something to my skin. It's a warm, bright coral that imparts skin with a deliciously sunny, warm blush. It looks great on olive, medium, and deeper skin tones. Probably that's the reason I really love this blush on my skin. And there's a tone of coral that reminds Lisa Eldridge of slow-paced, relaxing, sunny days in hot climates. And this shade is it for her. So next to each other, this is what the two shades look like. Dante's Dream, then Island Glow. Again, I have swatches and close-up product shots for these blushes on my Instagram. So again, I'll link it right here and also in the description box below. So this is what the two blushes look like. The top one is Dante's Dream and the bottom is Island Glow. And this is what they look like against my skin tone. You can see there. And I've literally taken a small amount and spread the product out. So let's start with Island Glow. This is the kind of brush I like to use, so something dense yet fluffy and kind of with a dome kind of a shape. If you have bigger cheeks, you can also opt for something like this by Real Techniques, which is their blush brush. Or if you have smaller cheeks than mine, you can also use the Real Techniques setting brush. But this is what I'm going to use. This is by Co-Artistry Tools. This is 1.4 brush. I will link it in the description box below if you're curious. So starting with Island Glow. I've taken half the amount of the blush that I had on the palette, and I'm spreading it, distributing it evenly on the tip of the brush. So once I have that, I'm going to just tap on the skin. Applying most of the color to the apple of my cheek and then blending the edges into the highlighter and also upwards. That is my preferred way of applying blush. I will just bring down the brightness a little bit more. Sorry, the sun goes in and out so you can see the color better. There you go. So that is a light layer of Island Glow. I can build up the color a little bit, taking a little bit more on the brush. Literally tapping it here. Again, my skin is powdered, so this is going over powdered skin. There you go. Beautiful color, especially for this time of the year. Doesn't match my lip color, but that's fine. In case you're curious, I have on the Lisa Eldridge lip liner in blush on the outer edge, and I have the lip gloss Embrace in blush as well on my lips. Next, I'm going to apply Dante's Dream. Again, doing the same kind of application on the brush for Dante's Dream. Then applying it to the apple of my cheeks. This tone definitely ties in better with my lip color as well because it has a pink base to it. That is a light layer of Dante's Dream. Beautiful shade for an everyday wear. Just going to add some more. So this is what they look like on my skin. Island Glow and Dante's Dream. I come in closer. This is what Island Glow looks like. And then we have Dante's Dream. Now in terms of packaging, I literally have no complaints. This is perfect. It's a beautiful tube packaging, so you can squeeze out the amount you want. Very hygienic in terms of application. Definitely a product that I'm going to add to my kit as well. What I also love is this clear window right here at the bottom. So if you have multiple shades, you can quickly tell which shade it is and pick it up from your drawer, which I truly appreciate. It's very easy to use. Granted, I don't apply blushes with my finger, especially when it's like a thicker consistency of a cream, if that makes sense. Although this texture feels lighter for a cream blush, it does feel heavier than the liquid blushes that I'm used to. So I do prefer a brush application for these blushes. I find them very easy to use. I just put a little tiny dot on the back of my hand or a palette and work it with the brush just as I've shown you in the demo portion. It's beautifully blendable, as you can tell. It literally takes seconds to apply and is buildable, which I appreciate about a product, without lifting or looking patchy on the skin. And this application was over powdered skin, and it still has that beautiful sheen and glow just coming from the product itself. And once it's set with some translucent powder and some setting spray, it does last all day. I think I may have forgotten to tell you the price for these. So you get 15 ml of product in here, which is quite a lot compared to, say, Danessa Myricks blushes. I think you get about 8 to 10 ml in the Vision Flush containers. Each of these retails for £24 here in the UK and have an expiration of 24 months or 2 years. Now, I do realize that some of these products, especially the blushes, are out of stock. So I thought I'll show you some shades that are similar from different lines. So I've got swatches of the Lisa Eldridge products right here. So Dante's Dream and Island Glow. And then some blushes that are similar in tone. The first one is an affordable option. This is from Flower Beauty. This is their blush bomb. The shade is Cinnamon, which is one of my favorites for a very natural brown kind of a blush. Now this is a more of a liquid formula. So if I apply that on top of Dante's Dream, you can see how much more brown that is compared to Dante's Dream, which has still a little bit of more pink tones. So the other one that's closest to it, I would say, is the Danessa Myricks Vision Flush. This is the shade in Ballet Slippers, and it's no doubt one of my favorites, especially from the Vision Flush line. So if I apply that below Dante's Dream, that is what it looks like. So this is the Danessa Myricks Vision Flush in Ballet Slippers. Next is the Lisa Eldridge blush in Dante's Dream, and this is the Flower Beauty blush bomb in Cinnamon. The Ballet Slippers also looks very similar to the Island Glow blush, so I think it's a good mix of Dante's Dream with Island Glow. Now the potential dupe from the Flower Beauty range is the shade Melon. That can be for Island Glow, so I'm going to swatch it below Island Glow. So that is what that looks like. So it's like a warmer version of Island Glow, but still beautiful on the skin and very similar. If you prefer more of an orange tone, then you have Sweet Nectar from the Danessa Myricks Vision Flush line. This is definitely going to be more orange than these coral tones that I've shown before. So if I swatch that below the Flower Beauty one, you can see how much more orange that is compared to the other two coral shades. So in terms of the closer shades, I would say for Island Glow is the Flower Beauty Melon blush bomb. And for Dante's Dream, I would say is the Danessa Myricks Vision Flush in Ballet Slippers, but it's slightly more of a warm tone version than Dante's Dream. Next, let's look at some possible dupes in terms of shades for the highlighters. So first, let's look at some possibilities in terms of dupes for the shade Crystal Nebula. I'm going to apply a small amount right at the top there. Some potential dupes for that are this primer by Beauty Pie. This is their all-in-one Wonder Illuminating Primer. It's for a fraction of the cost. So apply that right below Crystal Nebula. So this is the Beauty Pie one. Next we have another one from Beauty Pie. This is their Triple Beauty Luminizing Wand. And I think they make it only in one shade. So if I swatch that below, that is what that looks like. In terms of the luminosity, I would say that illuminator or highlighter is the closest to Crystal Nebula from Lisa Eldridge. Some other option is the Marc Jacobs Spotlight Glow Stick, this one right here. It's more golden in tone. There you have that. You can see it's more golden than the shade right here and this one. And then I'll do the Solar Light on this hand and the potential dupes for that. So that is Solar Light. Next to that, I do want to swatch two shades of the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter. Now these ones definitely are more thicker in consistency. I do want to see if they give the same kind of effect. So below that, I'm going to be swatching one of the newer shades, which is 4.5. So that's what that looks like. That is slightly lighter. Next, I'm going to swatch a deeper shade, which is number 5. That is slightly warmer than Solar Light. This third one right here. It looks quite similar. I would say that's more similar than 4.5. Then I have Danessa Myricks Vision Flush in Tiara. This is one of my absolute favorite liquid highlighters. That one, this is definitely more golden. There you have that one. So that's the Danessa Myricks one. Of these, I do think that the number 5 in the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter so far is the closest to solar light. And lastly, I also want to swatch the Charlotte Tilbury Beauty Light Wand in the shade Glowgasm. This is definitely, I feel like, more golden in tone, so it might look different. It's definitely way more golden compared to the other shades. So in terms of shades, I would say the Hollywood Flawless filter in number 5 is the closest to solar light. In terms of reflectivity, you can see that all of these are absolutely stunning. And that's it for this video. If you found this helpful, definitely give the video a like and also consider subscribing for more videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!